Alabama's great senator, Ms. Katie Britt. There you go, in all of your splendor. Thank you, Senator. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And listen, I loved exactly what I just heard the president say. We have got to crack down on sanctuary cities. When we look at where we are right now, Larry, there is no doubt that because of sanctuary cities, that Americans are less safe. When local and state law enforcement officers and governments won't cooperate with our federal government, what that ultimately means is more illegal criminals are released back into our public. It makes our streets less safe. It drives up crime and fraud. And the president's exactly right. We need to get behind Lindsey Graham's sanctuary city bill, and we need to end funding them and make sure that those people who don't cooperate with federal law are held liable.
Well, I couldn't agree more. I'm glad to hear you say that. I mean, you know, if the local police had the authority to just hand these prisoners over and their criminals over inside the jail or the prison or whatever, then they wouldn't be loose on the streets, and you wouldn't have to have these ICE sweeps throughout the city. I mean, most of the trouble has occurred because they won't hand them over. And it's these blue states, Minneapolis leading them all, but it's the same thing in California and elsewhere.
Absolutely. Well, first, we need to stand shoulder to shoulder with our law enforcement officers. When you have people in state and local governments saying, and federal for that matter, saying that, you know, you should get in the face of ICE and that they're the Gestapo and Nazis, that creates a distrust that should not be there. We also have this issue with sanctuary cities where you've got people in there that are not turning these criminals back over to ICE. Look, with the 7 million people on the non-detained docket, we've got 1.5 million that have final orders of removal. If one of those people come through, they should be turning them back over to ICE so that we can have detention and deportation. If we had cooperation, Americans would be more safe. And at the end of the day, we got to call it like we see it. There's no way that these people should be getting federal dollars if they're not going to comply with federal law. And I think you see the Republican Party saying enough is enough. You are creating an unsafe environment, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore.
So I want to get to the DHS bill in a second, but will there be a vote on Lindsey Graham's bill? I mean, an actual vote on defunding? I
actually just got off. So I talked with President Trump this morning. He is obviously laser focused on this, as he should. Look, there's no one better on the border than Donald Trump. There is no one better in interior enforcement than Donald Trump. And so we have to make sure that we are dialed in and we continue to do what we need to keep our country safe. I just got off the phone with Lindsey Graham. He is going to take his bill to the floor tomorrow. So I hope all eyes are on the Senate floor. Democrats will have an opportunity to do the right thing and to say, you know what, we're going to end this foolish policy. It should have never been here to begin with. We're going to put the safety of our law enforcement officers and community front and center. This is how you do it. Listen, we just had someone, an illegal alien that has been detained because they believe them to have actually abducted and or taken the life of a mom and 2 kids there in Mobile, Alabama. Larry, I mean, these kinds of cooperation both helps us find people and helps us get criminals off the street.
You're in the middle of the DHS funding discussion. February 13th is Friday. The bill runs out, the appropriation runs out, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, to me, Mr. Schumer and the Democrats, basically, they want open borders and they want to defund ICE, not sanctuary cities. They want to defund ICE. No matter what they say, they're trying to pin ICE back. What's going to happen here? How do you see this playing out?
Well, yeah, and you just nailed that, too. We saw coming out of the House with the top Democrat on the Appropriations Committee came out with a plan today to do just that, to defund ICE. Look, this is taking us back to 2020. We heard them say defund the police. Now you hear Democrats say defund ICE. Look, let me tell you something. Homeland Security is so important. It is about keeping Americans safe. And them playing these games right now will ultimately put Americans at risk because Homeland Security has FEMA funding. Larry, it has TSA funding. It has Coast Guard funding. It also has ICE, which has HSI, which we go after child pornographers there. We go after sex trafficking rings with HSI, and then the Border Patrol. So these are key elements to American safety. And you see Democrats, unfortunately, playing politics. It took them over a week to come up with their list of demands after they demanded a 2-week CR. And then, Larry, it took them 3 days to get text. So we're in the part, the White House is going back and forth with them. But one thing the American people should know is that we will not walk away from law enforcement officers. We will not walk away from the law, and we will not walk away from enforcing it.
I mean, I think the GOP in this election year wants to defund sanctuary cities. I think the Democrats in this election year want to defund ICE. And I think the GOP has the upper hand by a wide, wide mile. That's what I think. And it's going to be a big election year issue, ma'am.
It absolutely is. And look, we're going to follow President Trump's vision, make Americans safe and enforce the law.
Senator Katie Britt, great state of Alabama. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.